All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is April 8th. We do have 3 games on today's NBA slate. We're going to jump into each and every game. I'll give you my lean on the spread. I'll give you my lean on the total, but my final plays, what I'm actually going to be rolling with, those will be in the pinned comment. I update that throughout the day, so make sure to check out that pinned comment, guys. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. You might know or notice something a little bit different. We are finally back to a setup. We got the mic, the camera. Might still be a little echoey as the room is somewhat empty, but we are back with the graphics and everything like that. So I'm very excited for that, guys. Again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Yesterday, we go 2-1. We had the Pistons +8. They win that game outright. Mavericks -8.5. Kyrie gets ruled out late, so that kind of stinks. And then we had the Warriors and the Kings under for our second win there. Also, guys, we're doing really well as of late in the MLB, so make sure you do go check out our MLB videos as well. Having a ball doing those. But yeah, guys, let's jump into the first game here. Again, 3 games, 2 of which I don't really care much for. This first game is really probably the only entertaining game that we have on the slate, but we're going to go through each game anyway, so let's jump into it. We got the Utah Jazz taking on the Nuggets here. Jazz +6 at home here. Total sitting at 225.5. Last time these two teams played was early December. Denver as 11.5 point favorites. They win that game 115-110. Now you're going to want to take a peek at the injury report because it is a massive injury report here for Denver, and honestly for both teams. So we'll go through Denver first. Reggie Jackson probable, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope questionable, Aaron Gordon questionable, Nikola Jokic questionable, Jamal Murray questionable, Bruce Brown Jr. Probable, and then Michael Porter Jr. questionable. So pretty much most of their starting lineup here is questionable. If you are on the Denver side, we'll talk about our side in just a second. If you are on the Denver side of things, I think you're going to want to keep an eye on that injury report. And in terms of Utah, Rudy Gay out, Kelly Olynyk out, Jordan Clarkson out, Larry Markkinen out, Colin Sexton out, Talen Horton-Tucker out. So many guys out for the Jazz. I think you're silly if you are backing the Jazz knowing that all those guys are out. So even though there's a lot of questionabilities here, I am going to lean towards Denver minus the 6 points. If Jokic doesn't play, I hope that that line, drops a little bit, because I do think that, if we have a couple guys that are probable or a couple guys that are questionable, I hope not all of them sit out. But we are at a time in the NBA right now that's a little inconsistent, and guys are just sitting out for what reason, who knows. But I'm going to lean towards Denver here -6. In terms of points scored, I do think 225.5 is very gettable here. I'm going to lean towards the over. I think this one gets up into the 230s. So that's probably my favorite lean on this, because regardless of who's playing or who's in, who's out, I do think that this one hits the over. They hit that earlier this year as well, so I do like the 225 there. It is 225 on some sports books, so make sure you odd shop there as well. Moving on, we got the Spurs taking on the T-Wolves here. Spurs 14-point dogs at home. Total at 232.5 in their last 10 games here. The Spurs 3-7 against the spread. They're 3-7 straight up as well. Obviously, they're not playing very good basketball. I will say Minnesota laying 14 points is not something I'm very comfortable with whatsoever. They're 4-6 against the spread, so I am going to lean towards the San Antonio Spurs in this one. Karl-Anthony Towns, Austin Rivers, and Noel are all questionable here for San Antonio. The same old injury report that they've had for a while, guys. A bunch of guys out, a bunch of guys questionable, which they probably will sit out, like Langford and Johnson. So even with all the injuries, I am going to lean towards San Antonio here. I think that really, guys, I probably should be honest too. Like, this is the time in the NBA where picking sides is going to be pretty questionable. You never really know what you're going to get. Like we got screwed with the Dallas Mavericks yesterday. We liked that pick. That was a good spot for them. Kyrie just like, I'm not going to play, right? Which obviously he's a lunatic in and of himself. But I do think that totals are still something that you can probably, narrow down on. Just like that Nuggets Jazz game that we talked about prior to. Like, I don't hate that over regardless of who's playing or who's not playing. In terms of pace of play and all that, it still looks like a good over. This one also looks like a good under to me. So I'm going to lean towards the under 232.5. That definitely has a chance of being a final play. Minnesota -14, San Antonio +14. I'm going to lean San Antonio, like I said, but I don't think that that's a confident pick, and nor should you feel like it's a confident pick, because things are very weird in the NBA as of right now. But let's move on to the third and final game of the slate here. We got the Clippers taking on Portland here. Clippers on at home, 17-point favorites. Total is at 2 30. This Portland team obviously has been getting crazy, I guess you could say, lines as of late. They have literally an injury report that is 20,000 people long. I don't even know how they are rostering enough guys to play each and every night. They're 2-8 in their last 10 games here straight up. They are 5-5 against spread, but how can you not be when you're getting 17, 15 points? Like, let's look at some of their recent spreads. Portland 18.5, 19.5, 14.5. Crazy lines, right? Just like tonight, plus 17. How can you not take that? So I do think that that is the play, regardless of who's playing, who's not. No Paul George and no Marcus Morris here for the Clippers. So Kawhi Leonard and company, I don't know if they win this game by like 20 points. Does it really, do they need to win this game by 20 points? Or even if they're winning by 17, right? Do they kind of take their foot off the gas and the bench players come in and then it comes backdoor cover there? That's what I think probably will likely happen here. So I'm going to lean towards Portland plus 17 just because that is an absurd amount of points. And in terms of a total, I don't hate the under here. I think that this one could go over, so that's just me being transparent, right? If you guys want to take that, or if you guys were in the comments being like, oh no, you're taking the under, but this one could certainly go over, I don't think I'd argue with you. I think this is a very decent line, a sharp line here, and I don't think that that's really in question. Like 230 is a pretty tough line to pick for these two games, because what if Portland does go out there and score a bunch of points? You don't think they will because they have nobody who's scoring the ball for them. But what if they go out there and do it? I wouldn't be surprised. They are the Trailblazers. They do play up tempo plenty of time. So I'm gonna lean towards the under. But if you guys are on the over, let me know in the comments. I don't hate that pick either way. But I think that kind of tells you my confidence level on the under, right? I don't think that becomes a true final play. But that is all we have for basketball for today. Hope you guys did enjoy. Small slate. It's getting tough in the NBA right now. Like, that's not a fun slate to talk about, right? But hey, it is what it is. We'll catch you guys in the next video, right? Peace out.